Hello everyone, welcome back. Today let's solve the first coding interview question from 48 top coding interview questions using Python. So in the problem they're asking us to remove duplicates from sorted array. They have given arrays like this, so all we have to do is remove the duplicates and then return the number of unique elements. The condition is that number has to be in place. I mean, we should not use the extra space, extra variables to remove the unique elements. So two examples. In this case, there are output. What they need is they need the number of unique elements in the form of unique elements. In here, 1, 2 are the unique elements. Although there are 3 items, but the unique elements are 2. That is what they are asking us. Here also, if you see, there are uniquely 5 elements. Although there are list has multiple elements, the unique elements are 5. They are asking us to print 5. That is the outcome. There is a lot of other things like non-decreasing order, which is nothing but increasing order, just to confuse you. But ultimately, what they are asking us to give the unique numbers. That's all in a list or array. So I have a list or array in Python. It is list, so created like this. These two are examples. Here in first examples, this is a Google Colab. To execute and then show step by step. I've used this. So I can simply I'll start with first examples. Here if you see here, I need to return 2 because 1 and 2 are the unique elements. Although there are 3 elements, but I have to return only 2. That is the outcome. So what I'll do is this is the list, right? This is array list. If I want to access this list, I use indexing, right? I can use indexing. What is indexing? I go through each and every element. The element numbers. What I'm trying to say here is basically number at 0th index. I can pass. It's a list. I can pass the index at 0. Numbers at 0, it's because it's a list of list is a array is a collection of similar elements. I can access each and individual element by using something like indexing. So at 0th index 1 is stored. If you see here, at 0th index 1 is stored, you will get the output as 0 because at apologies, because this was in the memory, I guess. Now at 0th index you will see 1. Yeah, can you see here? Because the previously it was you got the 0 because this number was in the memory. Anyway, at index 1 you will see 0 1, right? So don't get confused with the value. This what you see is the value, which is this. What I'm passing here is the index. Okay. Let's take this example. Maybe I'll show you with what I'm trying to say here. Let's take this example. Execute this. Shift enter. If you see here 0 1 2 3 4 5, let's say this 5, the output. So this is the, if I pass number 5, I should get 2. Number 5, I should get a value as 2, right? The value as 2. This because this is starting with 0. This value is different from if I pass like this 0, you will get 0 only. Because at 0th index, the actual value is also 0. Don't get confused with indexing and the number because the numbers are very, very small. So what we have to do is I use something like indexing. I'll compare this element with the previous element, the current element with the previous element, and if they are same, I'll not do any operation. I'll just keep moving on. If they are not same, then I apply some action. I'll take some action. So that is where I use something like a pointers. I use I equal to 1. I'll start with the first element. I'll start comparing the first element with the previous element. I can also compare, what I'm trying to say here is this, I'll compare this element with this element. I can also compare 0th element with this element, but what happens is if I'm at this location, if I go to like this location and then try to compare with the next element, so I may get a index out of exception. So instead what I'll do is I'll take a step, I'll move forward and then compare, after move forwarding, compare my current element with the previous element. So I'll come here and then compare with this. Instead of standing here and comparing the next element, I go to the next element and compare the previous element just to avoid the indexing error, out of indexing error. I'll start with 1, which is this, let's say this or this. Not the 1, index 1 I'm starting with. I'll also have a j, that is where I'll get the unique elements. So to keep the unique elements, to keep the index of unique element, I use j. Both of them I'll start with 1. Okay, so let's do this. So if what I'll do is I'll comment this. This is interesting part. So this is very important. If num nums of I which is index 1, which is index 1 is this value 1, okay, not equal to the previous element. Previous element, how do I get the previous element? You know, I'm starting with 1. If I want to get the previous element, it has to be 0, right? 1 minus 0, sorry, 1. 1 minus 1, which is 0. So what I'm saying is, I will compare this with this. If they are not equal, you replace, basically that's where the unique value comes into picture. You put the nums of j, the value in nums of j is nums of I. That's all. This is the logic. If you crack this, and that's all. This j equals j plus 1. This is the logic, and you just have to return j value. That's all. Now, how do I fit this? Let's go one by one. What I'm saying is, now for the first time, let's take this example. For the first time, I is 1, which is the index, okay, not the value. Nums of I, which is 1. 1 is equal to the previous element. Element which is stored at index 1 is equal to the element which is stored at a previous 1 minus 1 element, which is 0. Is it equal? Yes, it is equal. Then skip it. You will not go into this at all. You will skip it. Then in this case, what you have to do is, this will not go into at all. This will not go into at all. The j value will not increase. Then you go to next element. I am applying for loop. Imagine I am applying for loop. J will not get out increase. So next is, what I have to do is, I have element. Now next, I is equal to 2. I is equal to 2 is, this becomes here, not the 2 value, okay, the index 2. So which is of course the 2 value, index 2, index 2 is 2, okay, compares with index 1, because 2 minus 1, 1. Are they same? No, they are not same. Then what you do is, nums of j. What is j value? J value, nums equal to, by default, j already has stored 1, and because I'm starting with this, now j value is what? At this location, okay. Let's keep this as is, okay. Let's keep this as is. All right. Because I'm starting with j equal to 1, I equal to 1. So let's say I for the first time I keep first 2 values. All right. Now what I'm doing is, I'm comparing nums of j. So nums of I, which is 2 minus 1, they are not same, because 1 and 2 are not same. Then what I do is, whatever is there at index 2, you put it at index 1. So whatever is there at index 2, you put it at index 1. So that is what I am doing here. If you see here, whatever is there at index 1, so which is 2, you put it here. That's all, 2. Okay. And then you increase the value of j. Then increase the value of j. So which is nothing but j equal to j plus 1, j becomes 2. J equals to, it will become 2. That is what we have to return j. That's all. This is a simple example. You may not have got it. Let's take another example, which is this example. This is, I'm sure you might have got confused with this. Let's start with again with this example. No change. I'll take the first 2 values. Okay, I'll take the first 2 values here with the unique values, you can say. All right. Don't get confused. All right. I got executed, because of that you got an error. No worries. I'll show you what I'm trying to say here. I'll start with this. All right. Now the error is gone. I'll start with this first element. I am keeping the first 2 element as is. This is what the unique elements, okay. These are the unique elements. This is the element, and these are the unique elements. I'm overwriting the same list, because they are asking us to do in place. Now here comes, for the first time, I'm starting with this, okay. J is 1, I is 1, both are 1. I compare I, which is 1, is equal to previous one. No, it is not equal to previous one, right? It is not equal to previous one. Then what you do? You basically increase. You come here. You come here. You come here. Whatever is there at I of what is the value of I here? Num of I, which is 1. You put it at and 1. So basically, you take the same element and put the same element till here, and then increase the value of j. Increase the value of j. J becomes 2. I becomes 2. Still here, I'm sure you must have got it. If not, you will get it in future examples. So now let's go here. Now you compare these two. You compare these two. So now what is the value of j? It's 0, 1. Now what is the value of, so j is 2. Let's say j is 2, right? I'll keep this as well. Okay, for I have to copy the unique elements. Now I is 0, 1, 2. I'll compare 1 this with this, because I of 2, which is 1, is it equal to, is it not equal to 1? No, it is basically equal, so you don't go at all here. Then you go to I equal to 3. You keep increasing, because it hasn't come here, j value will not increase at all. So next is 0, 1, 2, 3. I became 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. You compare 3 with 2, index 3 with index 2, so which is equal to, again, though both are, I mean, it should be true. This should be true. Both are same. It will not go at all here. So now you go to 4. Now 0, 1, j remains same. J remains same. 0, 1, 2. J is still here. Okay. Now here comes the next j, I equal to 4. Index of I equal to 4. What you do, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you compare 4 with what? The previous element, which is 1, right? For index of 4, which is 2, you compare with index of 3, because here if you see index of 3, both are different. Now what you do is, you copy this element. You copy this element and put it here in this place, because that is where you are doing here. J value is 2, right? J value is 2. So 0, 1, 2. You're putting the I which is 4. 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2. You're putting it in. 4 value is putting it in j of 0. Now what you do is, you increase the j value. J becomes 3. J becomes 3. And this becomes 5, right? It was 4, it becomes 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're comparing this with this previous element. Both are same. You skip it. You keep the j as is. Now next is what? I becomes 6. Now you keep on doing 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You compare this with this. Both are same. Now you skip it. And then move on to the next element, and so on, so forth. So basically you compare. Now next is, okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sorry, 2, 4, 6. Here you are, and then you become 7. You go to 7 again. Now, and so on, so forth. Now 2, 4, 6, 7. You compare this with this. Both are different, right? 2, 4. Apologies. 2, 4, 6, 7. Yeah, you are right here. So here 3 is not equal to 2. So then you replace whatever is there at this location, at third location, 0, 1, 2, 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. You put it here. You copy that here. And then you increase the value of j, because here you increase the value of j here. If you see here, you increase the value of j, which is 4, right? And increase the value of j, which becomes empty space here, and so on, so forth. Finally, you will have all the 4 elements, and then at the end, whenever you are increasing also, right? At the end, you are also increasing the j element. Finally, even if you have all of these elements, at the end, you increase the j value. Whenever there is a different value, you increase the j value, so it becomes the 5. Finally, the j value becomes 5, because at the end you replace, and then you replace that value and then increase, right? That's how you become. That's what it becomes, the 5th element. That's all, guys. Let's write the code. What I'm trying to say. I think this is. I hope you understood. It is, maybe sometimes may looks difficult, but it is not. So I'll put the j value as 1. I'll start with j equal to 1, and then for I in, it's very simple. Range is a function. I'm starting with 1. Range is a function to give the list of numbers. I'm starting with 1. I'll take all the least elements. If I want to start with 0, right? I don't have to specify. Range is a function to start with that element, list of elements. So what I'll do is, if I'll copy the same logic if you have seen the previous one. If nums of I not equal to, what is, can you tell me what is this, if you understood? Nums of I not equal to I minus 1, that's all. If this is true, Then you replace nums of j, which there contains the unique values, nums of j. You replace this nums of j with nums of I. Both are not equal. Then that's the reason you replace. Apologies, nums of I. That's all. And you also increase it, right? You also increase j equal to j plus 1. And finally, you return j. J will have the unique values. So let's see. So you're comparing these two values if they are equal, because we want to keep the unique element. It got accepted. Let's submit. Yeah, it got accepted. It is simple, guys. I hope you understood. Maybe it is complex, but if you debug yourself, understand in a different way, you by putting that, what is the next value, what is the previous value, if you understand that, this becomes very, very simple. That's all. See you in the next video.